2023 starts tonight for both Bakersfield and Cal Poly as a rain-drenched Central California sky looms over San Luis Obispo. But we're nice and dry inside Mott, and so happy to be with you. Alongside Coach Kevin Brown, I'm Daniel Gillman. It's Thursday night, Big West women's basketball action, and Coach, both teams, very defensive-minded points are going to come at a premium.
Both teams are playing competitive basketball and pride themselves on the defensive end of the floor. For Cal State Bakersfield, they are leading the Big West in both field goal percentage defense and three-point field goal percentage defense. And for Cal Poly, all three of their wins this year are a result of holding their opponents to under 53 points.
Let's take a look at our starting lineups here tonight as we get set for tip-off. And we'll start with the visiting Bakersfield Roadrunners led by head coach Greg McCall. 4 players averaging 9 or more points and a lot of size down low.
For Henny Von Schaik, 6'3" sophomore, versatile offensive player, averaging 12.5 points and 6.5 boards a game, runs the floor well, block-to-block post presence, and can step out and shoot the three. Also look for Cal State Bakersfield's paratransfers guards Grace Hunter from Florida International and Taylor Caldwell, Grand Canyon University, who can both score the ball in transition. And Daniel, for Cal Poly, look for Annika Shaw, the 5'3" sophomore, leads the way offensively, averaging 12 points a game. And also look for senior Maddie Willett's floor leadership and solid help defense.
See Willett making her first start of the season. Maya Garcia, the size down low for Cal Poly, number 30, alongside Sydney Borland and Junie Dixon. Dixon comes off of a season-high 11 points in the three-point loss to the defending Big West champs Hawaii on Saturday. But a new year for both teams, their first games of 2023 as we get set. Our officials tonight, Nicole Murray, Sherelle Blue, and Deanna Butler. As we're so happy to be with you from Mott Athletic Center. It's a chilly, wet Thursday night, but the fans are nice and dry here inside Mott. Alongside Kevin Brown, I'm Daniel Gillman. As Cal Poly and CSU Bakersfield have battled 14 times, and they're even 7-7 after Baco took a 14-point win at home last season as Garcia and Soli Herrera tip, and Bakersfield has us off and running. We're going to see a bit of a zone look early from Cal Poly as you see Shaw mismatched with Herrera down low. Mustangs trying to get out of that under first-year head coach Chanel Stiers. They run a much different defense than last season, as lining it up is that transfer guard out of New Zealand, Grace Hunter, for 3.
Grace Hunter, Daniel, can shoot the basketball, and she can score the ball. She had 23 last year for Florida International against Charlotte.
Annika Shaw will take it up, a second-year guard out of Palo Alto. She takes a lot of threes, second in the conference in three-point makes per game. But what we've seen this season with Coach Stiers is a lot of unselfish basketball. 4 different Mustangs touch the ball before Shaw's runner is no good. And a minute in, Bakersfield hopes to expand on an early lead. This is Von Schaik, 6'3", forward out of Netherlands. Finding Herrera. Defended by Garcia, a lot of contact, no call, and then it slips out of the hands of Maya Garcia and stays Bakersfield ball, and a reset on the shot clock to 20.
Herrera is the post presence for Bakersfield. She has great hands, good footwork. Maya Garcia is going to need to deny Herrera the basketball.
We're going to see this a lot. Height mismatch and a beautiful pass by Von Schaik as she finds Soli Herrera. 2 early buckets for the visiting Roadrunners, and it's 5-0 here in slow.
We see a 2-2-1 trapping zone defense by Bakersfield. Cal Poly will have to be strong with the basketball, use ball fakes, look for the high post flash, short corner, and the dive cuts.
A lot of contact, great hands though by Grace Hunter. She creates the turnover, and Coach, that's the same defense that Cal Poly saw on Saturday against Hawaii, but they got off to an 8-0 start. What are you seeing different here?
It's early, Daniel, but as far as offensive execution, Cal Poly needs to take care of the basketball, move it from side to side, look short corner and high post.
The Mustangs are ready to sub early. Just over 2 minutes in, and Cal Poly looking for their first bucket. Best defense in the conference in field goal percentage and three-point field goal percentage as Dixon's shot is blocked. Picked up by Von Schaik, and Bakersfield defense has traveled the 2.5 hours west. Going east to west, though. Von Schaik looks at Garcia. Still 15 seconds to shoot. She has time. Herrera's blocked, and now the defense for Cal Poly showing in a matchup we highlighted pregame. Down low, Garcia against Herrera. Now back to Maya Garcia. Good up and under. She's blocked by Herrera. Offensive board, no good. But Willett's on the floor. 20 seconds to shoot, and a tie-up is called. So physicality early here in this contest.
Offensively for the Mustangs, I like that they're playing unselfish basketball on the offensive end. That's what it's going to take to execute against a zone defense.
Senior guard Nikki Kovačíková, grad transfer out of Penn, checks in alongside some size in Natalia Ackerman. Ackerman had the point-blank chance to tie it against Hawaii late on Saturday, battling a bit of a back injury, so we'll keep an eye on her as Shaw's runner, again, no good, and Cal Poly still scoreless here.
Bakersfield is really good in transition offensively. Coach Greg McCall likes his team to push the basketball. They really look to score the ball in the first 7 seconds of the possession.
There's an open shot, too, by the redshirt freshman Sophie Tugis.
That's what you need to do offensively, Daniel. You get the ball into the high post, great baseline cut, excellent delivery, bounce pass. I know Coach Stiers is happy to see that type of execution against the zone defense.
Yep, the drought is ended as Ackerman contributes, and this shot in and out, picked up by Ackerman, who had just 5 rebounds but no points in 10 minutes against Hawaii on Saturday. Tight loss. Cal Poly had a chance at the buzzer, but Shaw's prayer was not answered. So the Mustangs sit 0-2. Bakersfield coming off of a loss at Irvine as Willett lines up, Kovačíková. No good, a little strong, but Ackerman's rebound ends up fruitful for the hosts as a foul is called.
And Nikki Kovačíková can knock down the 3-ball. She was 2 for 5 versus Hawaii last game. When she gets her feet set, she can knock down the 3-point basket.
Kayla Morris, 6'2" redshirt freshman transfer from ECU, comes in. She immediately bodies up Ackerman with 15 seconds to shoot for the Penn transfer. Ackerman with the left, and she's got both buckets for the Mustangs, back within 1.
Excellent delivery by Nikki. Nice roll by Ackerman. Ackerman is really good, Daniel, at her pick and slip action. She sets the high ball screen and gives her teammates a great target.
Big turnover there as the Mustangs sub a couple, and good to see Umu Torre back, who missed the game against Hawaii. Practice yesterday, she's available on a limited basis as well.
One thing Coach Stiers would like to do against this zone defense is to attack the basket and score.
A lot of size as Morris rejects Willett. Jazzy Anderson also in, a ball handling guard for the Mustangs. She has it here at the top. 7 seconds to shoot. To the corner, and Kovačíková to Willett. Right before it expires, and Maddie Willett. Exclamation point on a 6-0 Mustang run.
Nice offensive play by Maddie Willett. Good up fake, 2-bounce dribble, fundamental jump stop.
Bakersfield struggling, back-to-back turnover possessions. They'll get a break at the next stoppage of play, but Cal Poly hoping that doesn't come quickly, and instead it is an offensive foul called against Kayla Morris. Much shorter Kovačíková really bodied up Morris, and that will take us into our first break. Cal Poly started down 5-0. They lead 6-5. We'll be right back. A 4-game winning streak propelled by the veterans. And coach, it's going to be one of these 3 fifth years for Oklahoma State that comes up clutch late.
Right, this veteran team knows how to win. They've learned to play together, you know, and they have lots and lots of experience. Tonight, it's been Alnaudis and Chastain who have really stepped up and led the way scoring for this group.
All three in double figures. As we look at Chastain, 11 points for the former UT Arlington guard. This place was bumping during the break. Texas Tech need them to stay loud.
They do. They need all this energy right here to get a stop.
Collins picked away by Farrell.
The fans wanted to travel, and I'm not sure that they're wrong there, but really good defense there by Katie Farrell.
Back to Scott. 20 points per game in conference play. She's got 12 in the lead.
Now again, they've got to be solid right here. No time to celebrate. You got to get back and get a stop. All the pressure is on Oklahoma State right now, right? Their win streak, all the pressure is on them. Tech's just got to stay solid.
Scott brings down the board. And you can drain 30 seconds, but you need a bucket, don't you, Coach?
Yes, you do. Now, you can take some time, but you want to have good execution. You want to get the ball in the right people's hands. Right now, Bree Scott's hot. You can always count on Bryn. Bailey Maupin, I don't count her out either because she's just a scorer and can make big shots.
Scott, step back three. Offensive board, Farrell.
That was the hustle play of the game right there by Bailey Maupin to keep that play alive, to tip that out. Huge, huge extra possession for the Lady Raiders.
And their first offensive rebound of the half as Gerlich drives. The former cowgirl gets picked off and then commits a foul. So Garzone will go to the free throw line for two with 36.4.
I tell you what, that's a frustration foul right there by Bryn because she wanted the contact under the rim on her shot. And they were both hustling, and it became a wrestling match on the end line.
And on the replay, Coach, you could see Claire Chastain get a great strip.
Yep. Both teams battling every possession right now.
We got to talk about Bree Scott, though. Her three-pointer a couple minutes ago. Injured in the first quarter, Coach. This is all grit.
Absolutely. She's been injured. You can tell she's been struggling throughout tonight. But she knows when her team needs her to score, and she has really, really stepped up here late in this fourth quarter. And that's what you want from your seniors. You're going to go as your seniors go.
Oklahoma State has not scored in 3 minutes, of which Texas Tech is on a 7-0 run. You've been in these huddles. What's the focal point for each side?
For Tech, it's going to be, they're going to go to the foul line, and she may or may not use her timeout now with this much time remaining to advance and then draw something up to execute to make sure they have a good possession. For Oklahoma State, one, you got to step up and make your free throws this late in the game. That's really, really important. And then they have to get a stop. I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in a press after this made free throw here, but they've got to be solid. They can't foul, put Tech on the foul line.
Well, for some reason, you see the shot clock has not reset. 15 points tonight for Big Cat Farrell, and you see the tough season she's had, just 66 all year long here in Lubbock, and her best game has come in the brightest moment.
It really has, and but she's not a big scorer for them. Her points are kind of bonus points for them. What she does defensively, she does so many things that doesn't show up on the score, on the stat sheet. She gets deflections, she gets steals, she pokes balls away, she's a good defender, and she's just an incredible passer. She finds her teammates, she rebounds. She just does all those little things that you need somebody to do that doesn't necessarily get the credit for it.
Well, this long delay, partially due to a review. That's the reason why the shot clock is still at 2, in case it gets overturned. Our three-man crew of Billy Smith, Brian Garland, and Kevin Peftel. Well, you saw the numbers of those seniors. They didn't show defense because if Tatum Weitenheimer's on the ball, Coach, you got to be careful if you're Oklahoma State.
You do. You got to be solid with the ball all around. Tech's going to be aggressive. Tech's going to use their length.
And it looks like it will be 2 free throws coming for Leor Garzon, the junior transfer from Villanova.
The official's going to come over here. Wow, they called a technical foul there on Bryn Gerlich, and these fans are going nuts right now.
That's a huge call.
That's a big call because now they're going to get 2 shots and the ball back.
Wow. Let's head it down to Ariel to find out more from this deafening crowd.
As you can see right now, the crowd is fired up. Everyone is on their feet. Who started that trend was Breamber Scott and head coach Krista Gerlich, trying to drive some distraction with this last 36 seconds of play.
Thanks so much, Ariel. So we sit here, Brandi, 55-55, timeout on the floor, and Oklahoma State has the ball.
Right, so Tech's
6
got to be
seconds
good.
separate, yep.
And I'll be curious, you know, they've gone to their zone a little bit. They're 2-3 and they're 1-3-1 down the stretch of this 4th quarter. So I'll be curious what Chris and her coaching staff go to right now to kind of throw Oklahoma State off. For Oklahoma State, they've got to have a plan coming out, right? They need to have a zone play. They need to have a man play to be prepared for whatever Tech's going to throw at them. Tech's got to get a stop, and then they have plenty of time to come down, call their timeout, and advance the basketball.
So it's Naomi Alnatis, the leading scorer on the season, leading scorer today with 16 points. Chastain has 11, Collins with 10. Plenty of options. And then, of course, you throw in Garzon from 3. Do you think Texas Tech sticks with that zone that we've seen most of the second half?
I don't know. They've played the majority of this game in their man-to-man and have been pretty solid. The zone really threw Oklahoma State off. So we'll see what they decide to do here. I guarantee you, though, the ball's going to be in Alnatis' hands for her to either create for herself or for others, because it's just so hard to keep her in front. So can she get into the paint and create dump passes, kicks, and create for her teammates?
What a fantastic show that they have put for us here. And with 36 seconds to play, so many more storylines remain. Oklahoma State has not made a bucket in over 3 minutes. And you wonder what the referee's whistle will come into play as well.
It sure will. Both teams need to be solid. No silly fouls at this point in the game. Just solid, fundamental defense. And then you got to rebound. When they do get a shot up, there's got to be bodies on bodies, and they absolutely have to secure this rebound. And that's one of the things that Tech has done really, really well this second half, is not give up any second chance opportunities.
Well, you saw number 2, Kyla Freeland, back out there with her 4 fouls. She has 1 block today.
Tech's back in their man-to-man matched up here.
Yep, Scott and Alnatis.
I like Breamber Scott on her with her length, guarding her. They're going to run the shot clock down as low as they can before they execute.
Yep, content to hold. 5 seconds separate shot and game clock.
Switch.
A chance to potentially get in the top 25.
Nope.
And she runs out of time.
Really good defense there by Texas Tech. They were able to switch. Katie Farrell kept her in front. Breamber Scott came over again, doubled her, wasn't able to get that shot. That was a huge stop for Texas Tech. Again, you see get by a little bit, Bree stays and help. Both stayed straight up, didn't foul. Really good defensive stop there.
And on the replay, she wasn't even close to taking a shot before the shot clock expired, as Texas Tech uses a timeout. And it's time for you to put on your coach's hat. What's the play call here? Is it Scott driving and dishing, or does she keep it?
You know, one of the things I've been most impressed with Krista Gerlich over the last 2 years is her ability to draw up really good sideline out-of-bounds plays and then her players to execute them. Because having a good play is one thing, your players executing them is a whole nother. And so she's always been so good at putting her players in successful, you know, they run a lot of back screens off of the sidelines, but I wouldn't be surprised if the ball is not in Briamber Scott's hands at this point.
A reminder, the possession arrow is with the Lady Raiders, and they are in the bonus. You see the clock has changed to 6.4.
So plenty of time here to execute, get the shot that you want. You got Bailey Maupin on the floor too, who's no stranger to making big shots.
Inbound to McKinney. Gerlich, can she be the hero? It's into Farrell. Turnaround jumper is no good. And we're going to overtime. And Kelsie, so much of it due to the vision of Sid James. She had 5 assists, a career high against Xavier, 2 including a beautiful backdoor a moment ago.
Yeah, that backdoor pass to Carruthers, first time we saw it tonight, and it was pretty beautiful down there. But when you can have someone like her, a big down low, who can make big time passes like that, it just opens up the opportunities for an offense. So great job by James. The vision down low, it was through some defenders as well. I'm not really sure how she even got that pass off, but great job by Carruthers to gather that ball, get it off, get the basket. Big 6-0 run to start the third quarter for this team.
Yeah, sophomore added a little English on the ball as well as Carruthers. Scoreless in the first half, 4 early points here in the second half as Seton Hall seeks for their first bucket of the third. Beautiful back and forth between Baines and Cooks, and Azana Baines has 17.
Seton Hall's just been doing a great job of getting it to their bigs between Cooks and Baines, pounding the paint. That's where they're getting their offense in this one.
Back to James. Looked like defense was watching for that backdoor there to McLemore as Carruthers stops, pops, and the unorthodox shooting of Carruthers. Her dad wanted her to shoot like Larry Bird, so she puts that ball high and lets it fly.
It's a cool story. Such a unique shot. When you see it out there, you're wondering how it all connects on the court, but we've seen it in the second half. She's had 2 jumpers look so smooth, even with that unique shot.
Cooks finds her spot, and now the floodgates have opened in the shooting department as Seton Hall back within 1. McLemore, who suffered a shoulder injury in the first half with the pink shoes, she's back out there on her senior night. Might have gotten away with an offensive foul as Carruthers. Back to McLemore.
We're starting to see a little bit of up-tempo that we saw in the first half as well between these 2 teams.
McLemore no good. Kelsie, do you think the up-tempo favors Seton Hall, a faster team?
I think in a bit. I like it when they push in transition. We saw, especially in that first half, forcing the turnovers and pushing it up court. That's when the offense was really rolling for the Seton Hall team.
Well, the Pirates are without their leading scorer, Lauren Park Lane, so they're relying on some secondary help like Cooks. But the 3-point look no good. She has 2 of them, all of the Pirates' 3-point shots today, and Coach Bozzella told us that he needs his team to shoot well from behind the arc. They're not quite doing it so far, are they?
Like you said, Cooks, the big down low, is the only one hitting these threes in this game. He really needed Hagans to step up. So far, she's 0 for 3 in this match. She does have 4 points so far, but he said key to the game, winning the 3-point battle. Right now, it's all in the Bulldogs' favor.
Butler severely undersized, yet winning by 1 here on senior night as a poke by Cooks moves the other way. Right to Bembry, and the Pirates retake the lead.
Like I said, the turnover to the transition offense, it's been rolling for Seton Hall in this one.
Bulldogs just look a little stymied when they're playing that half-court offense as James is poked, and the foul on Cooks is her 3rd. Certainly a note to keep an eye on here halfway through the third quarter.
And taking a look at this one, James through the paint, just a little contact, little push. It's going to get the call on you.
And we talk about bigs passing. How about Sid Cooks, 4 assists, and she'll take a break with her 3rd foul. We'll see what kind of offense the Pirates can muster without her, as Frederick on her senior night gets blocked from 3. Defense for Seton Hall getting a little extra handsy. Jordan, short, and Mortag, one of those 2 IUPUI additions. A big that takes it across half court. New style of basketball here. Still looks like Butler's having trouble finding holes. Less than 10 to shoot with Janes. Dominating possession, but a good block formed by Jordan. Here's Hagans, you mentioned her, and she comes through. Shaylin Hagans with her first 3 of the contest. Seton Hall up 4. And a timeout called by Austin Parkinson.